Shortly. Hey, top of the hour. We'll get started here. It is 1 o'clock on the West Coast, 4 o'clock on the East Coast. Thank you for being here. And I will share my screen here. Avish, just confirm that you can see that.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, cool. So let's see here. A few cool, interesting things are happening right now. And this is something I just got off the phone with Bill DeWeese. And so we were talking about he's got a project going, his top 100 voice over questions. And here's our system, Avish. And this is kind of this model, I think, which I'm going to have to get Stanley to sort of templatize, is this. First is he completes the 100 videos, and that's editing and everything else. And then they are divided into three categories, and we were just talking about it. They include performance. This is for VO, obviously, marketing. And then he's going to call it technical. So technical. And so then under that, we're going to have one long page that is wish list protected and separated into the categories above. So basically one long page, 100 videos total, separated by either they fall in the performance, the marketing, or the technical area. And so let's just say, for purposes of example, to keep it easy, there's 40 of this, 40 of that, and 20 of that. So there's a total of 100 videos. It's one long page on the web that is protected by a wish list, and people will pay. We're going to start out the pricing. By the way, the total amount of hours is in excess. It's over 8 hours total training info. So the retail price is going to be $497, which we will never charge. And right now he says he's got 70 videos ready to go. So my thought is that we may do a pre-release kind of a deal for something ridiculous like $97. And then after after that, we might go to 197 or 147, just to show that there's a huge discount over the retail price. And people are going to be able to just get, they'll sign up, they'll get a code to access that one page, and boom, it's done. So that's sort of the plan, Avish. What do you think of that?
Mm-hmm.
Have I missed anything?
I don't think so. What was the 40-40-20 split?
That was just the total number of videos. I'm just giving an example between these three categories here.
Oh, the three topics. Got it. Okay.
So, and just assume a long, long page with video after video after video within each of the categories. So people can click on
Mm-hmm.
something to go to, so let's say the top is marketing, the second is performance. So there's 40 on marketing, 40 on performance, and 20 technical. So there might be links to just get to each one of the categories, but it's going to be a very simple, long, long page with video after video after video.
Got it.
Making sense?
Yep.
Cool. So the idea here is that now the beauty of this is no delivery hassles. All the videos are online, accessible by getting a PIN number. So now the question is, this is a one-time fee versus, of course, the ongoing continuity. Now, the one thing that we did do is we promised all who contributed a question get theirs for free. So we're going to get a little bit of a buzz going, and hopefully, so we also then need a sales page associated. So it's really going to be associated with this program or product. So what's going to happen is basically there's going to be, I don't know what the URL is, but 100 videos, let's just say .com. And so there are going to be two pages, really two pages. One is the sales page, and the other is the all the videos protected page. Make sense?
Yep.
So that's sort of the plan there. And this is Bill's thing. And so the question then becomes, well, when do you make it continuity and when do you make it just a one flat fee product? In this case, Bill, I mean, he's been working his butt off with everything else he has to try and get this done. Currently, by the way, Avish, and I don't know if you know this, but currently there's an 80-20 ratio right now going on between, in terms of revenue that he's generated. This is revenue Bill D is generating, and it is 80% services, 20% product at this point. So what we're trying to do for 2014, our goal, 2014 goal, is to flip that ratio to make it 20-80 or 80 product and 20 services. Because right now he's doing a lot of work running around for things. And so that's where that's at. And it's kind of exciting though because Bill is already doing some pretty good numbers, and this is just it just continues to get better and better. Also, he's going to do this weekend. He's doing a program. Dave is about to get on here. Let me just see when he comes on. Dave is getting on. Dave, you're there. Just 1 second, buddy.
No problem.
So what I'm talking about now, Dave, just to catch you up a little bit, is that Bill DeWeese, he's got this thing called the 100 Top Voiceover Questions. We're going to be putting it up, and this is something that we should have a template of as well, Dave. It's basically it's a 2-page site, and those 2 pages are a sales page, 1 page, and the other is all the videos protected on 1 single page. He's going to have 100 videos and 3 categories, a long, long page. And I was saying to Avish before you got on, 40, 40, 20. So 40 videos of one type, 40 videos of another. This is going to be performance, this is marketing, and this is going to be technical. So it's 1 long page separated into 3 different categories and then videos underneath each of them. So it's a 2-page website, wish list protected for the video page. And then the sales page is obviously going to be just a typical sales page, lots of testimonials and some stuff like that. And so now, if I were saying to you, Dave, we have to get this page up as quickly as possible, or this site up as quickly as possible, how quickly could you put something like that up? 2 pages, if you had all this stuff.
If I had all the videos and it was laid out, that format, 48 hours, I can have it looking pretty awesome, and the wish list stuff working with PayPal or Web Marketing Magic to pay for it.
Yeah, so this is a pretty, and I'm convinced that the future of information marketing. Now, I was saying to Avish also, Dave, that there are really 2 ways to go with this: one-time fee versus continuity. And in this case, Bill isn't going to be adding to these. So if something is static, it then produces generally a one-time fee situation. Whereas if it's dynamic and stuff is added to it all the time, it's a good candidate for continuity. And so people would be paying monthly if the content was being updated, revised, changed, added to. But in this case, it's a one-time fee and sort of it's a static kind of thing. So that's the whole idea. Now, I would suspect that people are going to be wanting, everybody in the information marketing field is going to want to have this kind of a standard deal, Dave. So maybe we can create a template for that as well for people that says basically, hey, here's your template for, here's your sales page and here's your product page. I just think it would be brain dead stupid and easy to do this because, am I right? Tell me.
Oh. I'm such a believer in these membership products, but that's perfect. That's perfect. Exactly what you're saying. The easiest way to pay for knowledge is just put a gate on it and say you can come in if you pay and you get access to all these videos or whatever. That's awesome.
So now let's go quickly to, and Avish, Dave and I are sort of trying to put the finishing touches, or putting together, I shouldn't say finishing touches. But what's the URL for the site so that we can look at this?
Info Marketing 101.
Info Marketing 101, which currently has a placeholder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is it. Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see it.
Do you have a backdoor page to show me what you're working on?
Yes, slash landing.
That's what I thought. Okay. So this is the unfinished version of this. And Avish, we'd appreciate your comments as well. So this, what we're going to be doing is Dave and I had been discussing about the idea of putting together some kind of a virtual boot camp. And Dave, why don't you try and explain it to Avish? I've heard it, and so maybe let's see if it makes sense to him.
Well, Avish, you've been to. By the way, how's it going, Avish?
Good, Dave. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Hey, well, you've been to enough boot camps. You get the idea that it's kind of a intensive, get her done kind of thing, not just a show up at one lecture, but from start to finish, you get it done. And the only downside is people have to pay and take a week out of their time. And we thought, hey, why not a virtual boot camp where it's a weekly webinar series, a hands-on, we work with them, and it's the same results. They get the education, they get the website, they get their product done, except instead of all showing up at one place, we're all online. We have private Facebook groups, we have frequently asked questions, we have weekly webinars, and a membership area. So, just kind of a different variant on the same boot camp theme. So that's the quick version. And here's the other thing. And Fred, this is the reason for it. I had a client that contacted me that was in something like this. He said the problem is this lady, and I won't give her name, but she's charging, thousands of bucks to teach us over an 8-week period. She creates these videos which she shares. And it's the same content, how to set up, how to do this. But he said the problem is they don't do any of the techie stuff. They don't help you with the website. They don't help you put the product together. In fact, he said, here is what she offered in the way of technology. She said, here's how you go to Craigslist. Here's how you put a posting up for somebody to help you set up your tech systems.
Huh.
And that was it. Like, we can do better than that. So that was a quick version of it.
Avish, any thoughts on that?
Well, it sounds really good. How long is this going to be? When you said weekly webinar series?
We're thinking to follow Fred's 7 steps to be a 6 or 7 week course to go through everything.
Yeah, the idea.
Okay,
would
but
be,
it'll be
yeah, so
timed like a class though. So there's a start date and a
Yes.
set group of people.
Exactly. It'll be week 7 or 6 or whatever weekly webinars, which are recorded and posted. And every week there's an assignment, there's expectations, there's communication, and then by the end, we all finish the course together.
Yeah, so Avish, the idea would be it'd be 7 weeks, and week 1, and I go through the 7 steps that I talk about. Then week 7 would be the final step plus a conclusion. So, one would think that generally, so this week 1 would be a bit longer than weeks 2 through 6, and then week 7 would be a bit longer because it would be both final step and just a conclusion. And yeah, we would have assignments, so people would be, they'd be participating and showing up, sort of like on a webinar, right, Dave? That's our idea?
Yeah, that's the thought. Is there's an enrollment, there's attendance, and they get what they put into it, but we will guide them every step of the way, just as if it were a week-long boot camp all in the same place.
Yeah, and also we're gonna record it as well because we can sell that to other people later as well too.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so, any thoughts, Avish? Any feedback?
I mean, the general idea sounds great. Without having specifics, everything here sounds really good.
So here is the site. And by the way, Dave, my only comment is I think that this is a little bit and I know you just threw this up, but this top banner is I think a little bit too sort of thick, too deep.
Okay.
It should be compressed down maybe to about half the size.
Sure. So you can see the video of
Yeah.
the folder.
Yeah. So the pre-head, Avish, is if you want to learn how to really do information marketing so you can actually make money, then Learn the 7 steps to getting your information marketing business up and running quickly and easily. A foolproof system to take your knowledge and turn it into cash. So this is then we're going to have some various things here. There's going to be some videos, and this one is from Dave, and there's just some placeholder text. And then past boot camp attendees are in here that have been been to the real quote unquote boot camps, and then reserving our spot, blah blah blah. And so we're going to have to. I'm missing some things that I need to give to Dave, but let me see what you think of these items on here, Avish. In this hands-on training, you will learn a simple system to pick a niche that will not only make you money but keep you interested for the long haul. How to decide on the right price points for the information products you produce. Get this wrong and you're destined for failure. 7 steps to creating your information marketing empire, creating a killer website to sell your info products, and automate your marketing, make money while you sleep, and much more. So I've got to maybe add a few items to this, but the whole idea is to make this basically a boot camp like they would attend if they were coming out to Vegas in person, but to make it virtual. So 7 weeks of attendance, once a week for probably probably 90 minutes, I would imagine, right, Dave?
Yeah, that's what we're thinking.
Yeah. So again, Avish, any thoughts on that?
No, just kind of what you said. I think I'm assuming this will be a decent ticket, so probably just a lot more bullets. I think for the higher price, the more kind of targeted bullets. Here's what you get. Here's what you get. But other than that, I think it looks good.
Yeah, and and now.
But I was even thinking on that, if we broke down the module, we know what the 7 modules are, and then kind of added some bullets within each one.
You know what? I think that's a really good idea, Dave. Why don't we do in this hand-on training, you will learn the 7 steps, Fred's patented 7-step process. Step 1, and then let's just do some bullets in there. Step 2, and in between each of the steps, maybe, or probably not between each, but somehow we have a couple of sign up now links.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I agree. I think that to know that there's a plan, and there's an endpoint where you're going to have it done.
And let me show you to illustrate what the. I think that let's see, Bill DeWeese, voice over fast track. Let me just see if that comes up. I think it might be in here. So under coaching, let's see. I don't. You know what? He's kicking butt so much. He doesn't even have to put up a site for this, and he gets 6 people a month to sign up for $4.97. Easily all day long. He doesn't even have to promote it. He just sends out emails.
I remember when this was just getting started and he had Zip.
Yeah.
Now he's crushing it.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's going to do, I promised him, this is the end of is it the end of the 3rd year, I think? Yeah, I think it is the end of the 3rd year. 4th year, I mean, I promised him by the end of the 3rd year he'd do 50 grand. Excuse me. And he's hit that number. So, I told him by the end of the 5th year it'd be 100 at least. So we're on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's, again, holding to my whole line, my whole concept that this is not a get-rich-quick business, but definitely, and not even, you're going to make money if you follow the rules and don't try and create any shortcuts, because that's what I think, everybody else is being sold on some kind of a mystical process that you can make money in 90 days and get rich.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody, everybody wants it fast, and I just tell people, go buy lottery tickets. That's probably a better option. But so that's the process. So now, Avish, how do you think we can sort of implement this, any of these things that I'm talking about with Dave into Speaking Expert? And by the way, last time you and I talked, Avish, we decided to sort of shift focus here too, right?
Yeah, now whether that means kind of just leaving Speaking Expert where it is or continue to work on that while doing the other thing, I think it depends on how what our task looks like for the training videos thing.
Yeah, and I'm just making sure that yeah, so we've got something up here. You know, it is at least we own this site, right? I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why I went with that name, but
I think that's what it is. Trainingvideos.com. Whenever you want to check who owns the site, yeah, it's mine. Okay, so whenever you want to check who owns the site, you just go to betterwhois.com. So our goal, Dave, we're going after a little bit of a different market here. With funny training videos, we're basically, let me just see if, I wonder, does Video Art still have a site? Just see, they may. Yeah, they do. So here's the Video Art site. What we're trying to do is become these guys. And so
it's kind of different than it used to be.
Interesting. Training solutions. So here's the list, Avish. It is change management, communication, creative thinking, customer service, leadership. You know, so we've got some pretty standard catalog. So now here's a catalog too. Videos A to Z. Let's see what they have here. Let's see. Holy crap! There's a lot. I mean, like a lot. I mean, like over a couple hundred.
Yeah.
And if we click on these, is there a sample preview video? Let's just see. Yes, watch full preview. Huh. You can't see the preview before logging in. That's dumb. That makes no sense. So, Avish, in our case, and Dave, again, feedback from you on this. So what we're doing is we're going after a corporate audience of basically HR people. And what we're trying to tell them is your training that you're giving people is boring. Ours is funny and interesting, and people will actually watch them and they will enjoy them, and it'll facilitate them learning the information 10 times better. And so what we're doing is we're going to start with sort of 5 to 6 core videos. The model is going to be either buy or sort of rent. And the model for these, Dave, is pretty interesting. You buy it for about $895 or you rent it for $295. And so these are the corporate numbers, because then they get to show it to all their people, et cetera, et cetera. So what's going to happen is we're going to have produced, and again, I think, Avish, the way to go with this, I mean, look at the number that this is. I had no idea. Let me just see. Video Art Classics. There's some really funny stuff these guys do. It's all John Cleese's stuff. But I mean, they've got quite a few here. If you want to be a success at selling, let me just see. Again, if we can preview any of these without, of course, you've got to log in. That's asinine. It's ridiculous. Okay, so DVD to rent, more information on renting it for a year. Okay, so you can license a video art training film on DVD for $4.95 a month or $9.95 a year. Basically, we can just sort of, let's cheat and use as much of their concepts as we can, except this idea of the preview has got to be without logging.
Right.
So, Avish, I think this is a winner if we can produce this. I really do. And our goal, Dave, is to try and find a company. And by the way, you may want to ask your dad, Dave, if he knows anyone. What we're trying to do is identify a corporation who would be willing to sort of become our test. What would we call them, Avish? Our benefactor?
Pilot program, or
our pilot program, yeah. So what we would do is we would produce these videos. at a, we give it to them at a really, really preferential rate, which allow us to, to sort of subsidize our cost of production. And the cost of production would obviously be to, we need actors, we need a script, which Avish and I can create. We're going to need a venue, and we're going to need video editing. We're going to need packaging, because even with that, and then Kanaki, the whole thing. But once this is up and running, we have our core curriculum, and then we can start adding to them based on. And this is this. Avish and I were talking, Dave, and we were talking about. I've met some people who have bought and sold companies and done all that kind of stuff. And Avish, did you take a look at Think and Reach Par?
No, I don't. I pulled it right now.
Okay, so no. Let me pull it up for everybody here. So the model was Think and Reach Par. There's a guy that who's been a sort of a follower of mine for a while. He put this together. This site looks nothing like he had it before. You know what? Let's go to archive.org. That is the archive.org. Has the Wayback Machine, and so Think and Reach Par.com. This is Par. Okay, so he sold it recently, but back before he sold it, it looked like this. Let me just show you. And this is Richard Myers, the guy who owned the site. So he basically got this guy, this golf pro that he knew, to help him record these videos. And by the time before it was sold, he got it to I think there were about 30 videos. And I think, and again, this is all approximation, he was doing about $250,000 a year gross.
Wow.
About. Again, golf is a great topic. A year. And somebody came in and made him an offer for over $1 million, which is 4 times his cash flow or so. And he's an accounting guy, PhD in accounting. And so he sold it. And so our goal, Avish and I's my goal, would be with funnytrainingvideos.com is to take 5 years, build this up, and then sell it. Have some big company come in and some big publishing company that wants to get involved in training and just take over all their intellectual property and give us $5 million and we'll go away. Does that sound good, Avish?
Yeah, that sounds great.
And I think that it's it sounds kind of pipe dreamish, but I don't think it is. I think that this is a pretty legitimate business model to do this. Plus, it's aimed at the corporate market, and they're always willing to spend more money than entrepreneurs that I tend to target. Am I missing anything, Avish? Did I represent that properly?
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, obviously, from the title, the hook is that our unique, this will be, instead of being a typical corny, cheesy training video, will intentionally be a little funny so people will want to watch them and pay attention and learn.
Yeah, and ours are going to be, I guess we've got to sort of walk the line between being irreverent and being politically incorrect, because then the corporations won't buy them because they won't pass muster. So we have to make sure that we get to the very edge of inappropriateness without going over.
Right.
Which is your motto in life, though, isn't it?
It kind of is. You're right. And so I
Can I ask a question about this?
What's that? Yeah, sure.
I love the model because once it's done, you have a product that you don't have to do anything. My first thought is the production, everything you wrote down, actor, script, video, all that stuff, is the hard part. Are you guys going to outsource that or take it on? I know you have experience with it, but what's your thought with that?
We're doing the actors, the script, and the venue ourselves. The video production side of it, probably we're going to be hiring someone.
Okay.
And probably we do this in Philly since Avish is based there, and he's got all his improv buddies that he can round up to be our actors.
Cool.
That we can pay virtually nothing to and just give them a warm meal. But also, one of the things I want to do for the actors is, because I just think that this is the fair way to do it, is whatever kind of a rate that we give them, I also think that, they should have a little bit of participation in terms of like every time a sale is made, even if it's a small bit of money, that any actor associated with that video, sort of like with a regular feature film, gets some kind of residual, however small. Because I just think that, if somebody gets a check, every year for like $220 or something like that, they're going to go, wow, that's cool. I didn't expect this. And I just like the idea of taking care of the people who were willing to sort of work with us in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely.
And in the event that the company is sold, and again, I'm just dreaming on this, but let's just say that if it was sold for, $5 million, let me just see how these numbers would work. I just like this idea of thinking about this because I think, and if we gave them, if it were sold, that they would get a sort of a buyout of 2%. So 2 times 5 million is what that is. That 10 grand or 100 grand? I think it's 100 grand, isn't it?
2% of that is what?
2% of 5 million is 100 grand, or is that 10 grand? I think it's
100,000.
Yeah, I think it's 100,000, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, just 500,000 would be 10%.
Yeah. So let's just say that then we would split up among the actors that were in the films $100,000. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So if we had 10 people, all of a sudden we'd cut checks for 10 grand to each of them upon sale, and they would love us. And anytime we have another project, they'd come begging. Please, can we do that again? So I think that this kind of a model, but again, looking like a 5-year kind of plan, produce these, have them ready to go. But I think I think that the market is dying for something like this. I really do, and I think that there's something to be said for, because these numbers that they get for this stuff is unbelievable. I mean, you go back to the video art stuff and stuff. But again, think and reach.
This is the type of thing where, and this is just kind of brainstorming. I was just talking with a buddy of mine, and he does a lot of stuff in banking, and he found some retired guy to kind of work as his pseudo-employee, because the guy had a lot of contacts, and the guy is basically going out to all those old banking contacts and getting in there and setting up meetings. And this is the type of thing where it would almost be worth bringing someone in, either as a partner or just as kind of a contract employee who's got a lot of connections in the training world.
I agree.
Say, look, because you and I can make the content, it's just finding the people who are gonna, to get one good client, and that, they can license, for 1,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what we'd want to do is we'd want to try and find someone. I'm willing to give up a decent chunk to get someone who serves as an ongoing salesperson for the product. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's, we don't have a magic wand just to wave and say, hey, let's find someone, but it's probably something to keep our eyes on. Especially someone like you who bumps into people every other day who seem to have some unique gift or talent. So
yeah, and I'm thinking that's something where if we gave away, if somebody found an account that they would be eligible to receive, 10% of the revenue on that ad infinitum, that would be fine with me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that's that's definitely something to think of. So that, Dave, do you see any things? Does that make sense to you? Anything need clarification?
Yeah, I think again, once it's done, the sales. If you created a DVD identical to whatever the real thing is, but it's just every video has demo or something on it. It was like when you went to that site and you couldn't preview it.
Yeah.
How frustrating is that? But if you give it to them, say, look, check this out. You could use this tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. When I go to Rotten Tomatoes, and that, by the way, I love the way that they do this because, you go to a feature film, I'm not going to see a movie without seeing the previews and seeing some of the reviews. Absolutely not. By the way, yesterday I just saw a great movie, and it's gotten course, it's unheard of, basically. Enough said with the late Tony Soprano and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Really great film. Very much of a dialogue film if you want action. So every one of them has play trailer, and it comes up and it's like they're not charging us for a movie trailer. So what the heck, Come on. There's no way that every single one of those videos here, you should be able to click on and see a preview. Browse our most popular videos. Okay, let's click on that and see what they say. So this should be something to look at too, Avish. So I don't know if you took this down, but videoarts.com.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got just a boatload of stuff. These guys must have taken it and run with it after John Cleese, the unorganized salesperson, valuing yourself.
See, and this is the
Here's maybe this is a trailer. Watch the trailer. Let's see.
Now, the problem with a lot of PC networks is that they're too slow. The speed of assistance protocols is measured in kilobits or more from megabits per second. Now, the system we're talking about here...
Yes, I understand all that, Tony. It all sounds very impressive. If we needed to network our PCs in the first place.
So this one does have a preview. The way to go. Also, the fact that maybe we should just all of us on our videos affect English accents.
Well, it makes it sound smarter, so I think it's going to make us sound more intelligent.
Yeah, I think that's it would be kind of funny to do at least one like that as sort of a tribute to video arts. Or have at least one of the characters come in with an English accent and insult him. It would be, so this is, that's what we do is we would show, just as they do with the movies, a preview and say, hey, and then we give them two options. They can either buy it outright, but they have this interesting system now where they're doing, e-learning license. This is interesting. Again, check out this site, Avish, and see what you think. So I'm clicking on the more information on the e-learning library. This is probably something where they allow you unlimited access. And this is a lot of these people are, so this should be our template for what we're trying to do. And again, this is all UK based in London. And, so this is, I don't know, it's right. Oh, this is some video arts group. Interesting. Famous for memorable training videos. Yeah. Award-winning productions, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff down here. Again, I would just chase all these links and take a look and see what you think of each. I think this is a good model for us to follow and who knows, maybe Video Arts will buy us later.
There you go.
We certainly won't take less than $5 million. Damn it. So this is all good. Any other thoughts or ideas from either of you?
Just to say, I think you're on to something. My dad, who works in real estate and gives them ideas, he talks with sales managers of local offices, and they got a sales meeting. They got a 30-minute sales meeting every week, and somebody's got to come up with what to do. And he put his negotiating tips into little 5-10 minute snippets, and he said, look, these are all on a DVD. Pop one in, hit play on whatever module you're on, you got an instant sales topic. So anyway,
Dave, how many of those does he have?
Of what, the negotiating tips?
Yeah, in other words, how many little vignettes or whatever does he have? So if I'm a sales manager, how many months can I get where I don't have to do anything?
Well, he's got a 2 DVD set that I can't remember. There's like either 15 or 20 on there. So in each one I think is about 10 minutes long.
Yeah, so it's a perfect sort of sales meeting starter or discussion point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's great. And Avish, that might be something as well that I was trying to figure out what our length should be, but that's really not the big deal. I think that for people to spend $895, what we need to do is to at least deliver to them something that is 45 to 50 minutes in length. Properly properly produced and edited so that it looks, pretty darn good. It doesn't have to look perfect, but it's got to look good.
Yeah, I was thinking there's two ways to go, right? There's they got a bunch of people in the room and they show our video. Then there's the kind of online learning where they sign their people up and then the people have to go watch the videos on their own. And I think those two might have a slightly different structure to them.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that for now, if we're thinking about, making it easy, getting it started, we just think about the buy the video and play it for them kind of routine. Sort of
I agree.
the traditional. Yeah, but I agree. I think it'd be great to have some kind of a self-paced learning, basically like a Khan Academy, but training videos. And you know what? For a corporate client, if we could ever produce that, that would be amazing. Imagine if we had, literally hundreds and hundreds of videos that people could go to, and for one flat fee, it's sort of like lynda.com, but just instead of doing, professional training on computer-related stuff, that it's professional training on soft skills.
Yeah.
And I mean, the model there, Avish, would, once we get this going, we have so many people in the NSA community that we know that you could just say, look, if you want to be associated with funny training videos, the whole idea here is it's a model where you produce the videos, give the videos to us, we put it up on the site, and you're paid based on whether or not we sell any.
Yeah, I think that's great. Then we get more content from other people. It doesn't cost us anything. They just get a commission.
Yeah, and we have to have certain guidelines for the production of the video. This is what I'm doing with the therapy training videos with Elliot Connie. Have you seen? By the way, you haven't seen that, have you, Dave? Therapytrainingvideos.com. So this whole thing is, what we're doing is creating a bunch of experts in the therapy field and doing basically Netflix for therapists.
Ah.
Yeah. So this is happening.
To be used in their sessions.
No, to train them on how to do various modalities of therapy. So to train the therapists on how to learn about this stuff.
Ah.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of good stuff happening. Okay. Well, a lot of good stuff there, and appreciate you guys being on the call.